Fed up with bad food, unjust treatment, poor education, and inadequate health care, thousands of inmates in Georgia's prison system staged Lockdown for Liberty, a peaceful protest, on December 9th, according to activists. The Black, white, and Latino inmates of Augusta, Baldwin, Hancock, Hayes, Macon, Smith, and Telfair State prisons refused to leave their cells for work or other activities, partly because they feel the Georgia Department of Corrections treats them like slaves, according to supporters who are not jailed. I'm going to play you an audio clip. This is probably going to take more than one video. An interview with one of these inmates. Afterwards, I'll go through their list of demands and give my thoughts on it. But I strongly urge at least any one of my subscribers and viewers who lives in the United States to listen to this. Because that's really all that this person is asking for. He's just asking for you to listen. And if you're inspired by this, to be their voice. I have chosen to support this cause, and I will explain that afterwards.
All right, brother, what I want to ask you, first of all, is why did you guys decide to protest by not working? And tell us who's involved in terms of the kinds of steps that are involved in the strike.
Well, we chose to protest because we felt like the conditions at which we're living in is so unjust and so unfair. You know, you violating our 13th Amendment by working us with no pay, you know, for one. Then you ain't giving us proper health care. You ain't giving us a proper education. You saying you trying to help rehabilitate people, but you ain't doing the right things to help rehabilitate us. You know, so we felt like that was an injustice. So we all stood up, and everybody that rose up against this capitalist system is, you know, you got the Muslim community, you know, you got the Blood gang, you got the Crip gang, you got the Aryan Brothers, the Aryan Nation, you know, and you got the Mexican community, you know, so we all came together and met on one common ground and said that we ain't going to stand for this, we want to change. Everybody vowed and said we were going to stand for it, and that's where we at right now. We trying to fight against it right now.
And you chose to not work rather than to just sort of try to take over the prisons violently. Why did you decide that this was a good strategy?
Because we knew if we came with any type of violence, that they outpower us. They got the gun. We can't beat the gun. You know, we might have the numbers, but we can't beat the gun. So we chose to say a peaceful sit down due to the fact that we had Muslims, you know, and then you got all these gangs that's coming together for like some on a peace treaty type style. You know, everybody come together and say, okay, let's just have a peaceful sit down. No violence, no nothing, you know, but the system started coming at us with trying to provoke us with the violence and stuff. So we just say, nah, we just going to lock down in these cells. We ain't going to do nothing. Y'all come, y'all feed us, do it, give us everything we supposed to have. We don't want to talk. We don't want to do nothing. We just going to sit down and let the people on the outside hear our cries for help and what we asking for, you know. And so it was working out. It's working out kind of all right. Everybody standing together, you know, standing firm on it.
Now, what are your demands? What are some of your demands? Well, you already said about you wanted to get paid for your labor. Is that right?
Yeah, man. We want to be paid for our labor. We want proper health care. You know, we want a better education for it. You know, and here you can't even attain a GED unless you're like 6 months short. And you got brothers in here that's been locked up 15, 16 years. They got life sentences. Don't know if they'll ever see the streets again. But you denying them the opportunity to attain a GED because they are not 6 months short. They can't get a trade because they got too much time. But this is a correctional facility to help better a person. But you ain't got none of that going on with people with these long sentences passing out. You know, and I feel like that's unjust. Everybody feel like that's unjust and it's not right, and we ain't going to stand for it. We're going to fight against that.
Now, some of the people have begun to say, well, let's go. And so are you willing to bring this strike to a kind of peaceful conclusion if you have some kind of promise from the outside world that we will at least start negotiating for you? Are you looking for people to help you negotiate for some demands?
Yes, yes. We can't do anything without the outside. You know, they'll look at us and just shut us down with no problem. You know, we ain't talking about nothing. You see how they already screaming. They put us on lockdown. There was no type of demonstration saying that we are not going to work, and then they say they just put us on lockdown because of that. But yeah, of course, we're willing to sit down if we can have somebody out there to talk for us and let them know what we trying to get out of this thing. Of course, we'll sit down. We'll lay down.
Now, let me ask you another question. What have, as far as you know, what kinds of things have they done so far in response to your protest in terms of the prison guards and prison administration?
Well, they done came in with the tactical squad, you know, they coming in trying to intimidate people. You know, they come in with the gun, you know, the pepper ball gun and all that, trying to provoke you to do something. They done came and shake down everything, ransack your room, taking all your personal property, you know, things of that nature, trying to provoke you to get violent with them so they can have a reason to act with force now, you know. So they doing things like that to try and get us off our square to make us go and fold up. So,
I heard that they were turning off the hot water in different places,
yeah.
And they were.
Yeah, like down here at the prison I'm at, they turned all the hot water off, you know, and were like, y'all come on and shower y'all come on get in the shower. But as soon as we go get in the shower, all the water cold, you know, and we like, the water was in hot an hour ago, but why is it cold now? You know, so they had them went out there and turned all the hot water out, put us in the shower, try to freeze us, turn the vents on, you know, saying y'all don't want to work well, we're going to freeze y'all, you know, and just things like that to try and keep on provoking us. You know, like they feed us, they started feeding us the pack out, then they'll bring the tech squad in. As soon as they give us the pack out, the tech squad come in, take all the food out your locker box, and leave with it and tell you they're going to feed you later on. And then later on when they do feed you, it's like 10, 11 o'clock at night, you know, things like that.
So you're saying they're using all kinds of tactics to break this strike by haven't they been pushing people and abusing people physically? Are you aware of any of that?
Yes. They're doing that too. And then they like taking all the people that they feel like have any type of influence on the movement, they taking them, transferring them straight to high Met, saying that they the reason why people are standing up right now because they don't want that, you know. So they transferring us out, they taking us, handcuffing us, leaving us on the yard, and it's like 28 degrees outside. They got us on the yard in a pair of boxers and a T-shirt with no socks on, standing out in a pair of handcuffs on a cold yard, locked in a gate, you know, saying we gonna break y'all one way or another. Y'all gonna work, you know. That's they tactics. That's how they working against us right now.
But still, the majority, would you say a large percentage of the men are saying that they're going to continue to strike anyway until we get some, at least get to the table? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, of course. You got like 1,700. All 1,700 that's down here at the prison I'm at, everybody is with it. They gonna stand on it. They gonna stay locked down until we get some changes, you know. But unfortunately, you know, you got a couple of guys that's like, okay, so people that told them that we can come out lockdown, but we still not gonna work, you know. So they coming out the cell, but they still not working.
Well, that's a very interesting turn of events. Now, in terms of, do you think we've put a lot of energy out there? We formed a coalition called the Concern Coalition to respect prisoners' rights. There are people all over the country, I'm sure Glenn Ford could tell you, all over the country reading a Black Agenda report, which we're covering this for, and people are supporting this, and we're now going to start meeting with the commissioner on Friday, and we've got a lot of other things. Do you think you can get the word out as much as you had been? Because a lot of people are fascinated by the fact that so much of this was done on cell phones. You know, they got very hung up on the cell phone keys. So do you think people will be aware or can be made aware that there's a lot of support out here for you, and that most people are seeing you as heroes because you stood up for your rights in a most difficult situation?
Yeah, but like what I say, it's the network, and it's the network. We networking and passing it out. Of course, the word to get put out to everybody at these prisons, at these various prisons that's willing to make a stand with us, and everybody know. But we feel like this a multi-billion-dollar industry. Prison is big business in Georgia. Everybody know that. If it weren't for the prison in Georgia economy will be well below average. So prison is all their money, and we feeling like, okay, you gonna violate our 13th Amendment right by working us like we are slaves, and say it's cheaper to pay the fine to the federal government for working us than to actually pay us. We actually feel like you telling us in so many words that F you, nigga, you gonna work the same way we worked your ancestors back in the days. You gonna do the same thing we gonna do for you now. You ain't got no rights. You don't stand for nothing. You really is irrelevant. They don't see us as a human. They just see us as an animal. That's why they lock us up, chain us in cages like they do, and treat us the way that they do. But we not going for that. We saying this a new day, this a new time, and it's time for a change, and we not gonna take it no more. We refuse to. If it means that we got to give our life for it, then I got a whole line of people that wouldn't stand for it and give our life for it because we know it ain't right, and we ain't gonna stop until it get right. And that's how we standing on it right now.
Well, that's a very powerful statement, and I think that if we can get that message out, I don't know if Glenn Ford, he is the executive editor of and publisher of the Black Agenda Report, which reaches far and wide. We're hoping that we can use this vehicle to get this message out. Is there anything else that we should be talking about that you think people want to know, Glenn?
Yes, I'd like to know what the brother would like people on the outside to do in support of the struggle inside.
We'd like for them. We're like for the people to hear our cries for what our demands are. We want somebody to be able to be a voice to let these people know that we are serious about what we're standing up for. We serious about everything that's going on. That's what we want the outside to do for it, because if the outside can be our voice, we'll do the rest. If it means for us to lock down in a cell, we'll do that. If it means for us to no work, no nothing, we gonna do that. If we have to stand out there front line in the cold like we've been doing, making the sacrifices that are necessary, then we're willing to do that. We just want somebody on the outside to be able to tell these people, look, these people are human. We still have rights. Even whether we're prisoners or not, we still have rights as human beings, and we want to be treated as such. We want to be able to educate ourselves. If we're gonna be here, let us educate ourselves. Let us be treated properly when it comes to our health care. You can have a toothache and your jaws can be swollen up and everything with an abscess on, and these people won't see you at all, won't do nothing for you. I tell you to fill out a sick call. Then when you get the sick call, it's like 7 days after. Your mouth done got infected and everything, and you still can't get nothing done about it. We just want somebody to be able to be our voice, and we'll do the rest. We'll do everything that's necessary that need to be done for us to get our point across.